Right, welcome back. We're still talking about the digital migration process, and just before the break we were talking about the set-top boxes. I've heard figures in the region of about 600 Rand for the set-top box. That's how much they'll sort of provisionally cost. I'm not sure what the final cost will be, but that because we want everybody in the country to have access to this new digital platform, the most poor households in the country will get a subsidy and will not have to pay for it. In fact, you literally just go to the post office and there'll be a process to make sure that you qualify, and then you'll be able to take your set-top box, take it home, plug it onto the TV, and you'll start getting your digital signal. If I'm wrong, I'm going to get corrected, but again, the set-top box becomes a very valuable asset. And I'm just wondering now, how do we protect that? If somebody steals my set-top box, what happens? What is the answer to that?
Well, Peter, the issue of protecting this box is actually a matter that has preoccupied government itself. And as you know, this is the matter that was even around the issue of the encryption, whether to encrypt the box or not, that the minister has spoken about. But I think it became very clear as well that even if you encrypted the box, you will not protect it from theft, petty theft, that is. You ask MultiChoice, which encrypts its box, it will tell you their boxes are stolen. So,
but they can switch them off.
Yes, that is where I'm getting to.
Oh.
So that is then, you cannot stop a petty thief. We are living in a country that unfortunately has all of that, and that is possibly to happen. So what do? Government has invested more than 2.4 billion rands, and it was concerned that it wants to protect its investment. So this is why government said, well, we should have a security feature in there. First, the security feature was to ensure that you will not be able to take this box across the border to any other country to then sell it outside of South Africa. That is one. And so this box will have that feature. It will not be able to operate outside the borders, the transmitter network of South Africa. Two, it is whether you can stop it from being stolen. Now, the theft of an electronic device in South Africa, there are already other mechanisms. For example, if your cell phone is stolen, you have a barcoded number on your box in the phone that you can actually call the network to be able to disable that device. So that will also have that. So we have the features that actually can protect the box. It doesn't mean that it will stop the thieves or anybody from stealing. And as we know, cell phones are still stolen in South Africa. However, the technical mechanisms have been taken and included in the box, in the Sunset 6.2 as well, to ensure that there is some security features.
All right, okay. I want to go to you, Mr. Mello, because it's going to be about making sure that everybody gets the signal. You've said 100% coverage, but 16% of them are going to be via satellite, aren't they? So what does that mean? Will they have to get a satellite dish? Who's going to pay for that? And the guys at home in the terrestrial platform, all they need to do is just get a set-top box. They won't need to do anything else on top of that. Just their aerial, their TV, and their set-top box. Is that all that's going to be required?
For the 84% of the people that would be, but you'll recall that the underlying implication is that there will be. You'll recall that there's also dual illumination, meaning the analog and the digital signals will be broadcast at the same time. So which would mean that there's essentially two frequencies being delivered. So that part of on the end customer portion is not primarily where SENTECH plays in that. What we do is our focus is to make sure that both streams of signals are made available to the population. Now the difference between the two is informed in that.
All right, so we've got a slide on the screen right now there with all these red dots. And I'm assuming that this represents the people who can get the signal directly. via the aerial, and then those ones on the outlying areas are going to need
Yes.
the satellite dish.
So what you'll see is that there's a terrestrial coverage map that shows where we have the network coverage, so the 84% is 84% of the population.
Right.
And that part we're comfortable that's where we're ready to go. Now, as far as on the end customer, like you pointed out, for the satellite reception, yes, there will be a need to install a dish, but SENTECH does not play in that space. In that, our customers are the broadcasters,
right.
So we carry the signal. We make sure that it reaches the parts of the country and the population that it needs to reach.
Okay. So, as the broadcaster, who's going to pay for the satellite dish in the outlying areas?
Thanks, Peter. If I were to come in there,
Yeah.
as I indicated earlier, we not only play in the space of providing subsidies for your set-top boxes, but also the antenna. So it could be in the form of your ordinary antenna, or in the areas where it's supposed to be satellite, we will be subsidizing the satellites, as well as the installation thereof.
All right. Okay. I'm going to start going to these questions, but just before that, Mr. Motsoeneng, earlier on you talked about relationships. And the other one that keeps coming up is our relationship with the new age. I just want you to give us a perspective of what that relationship between the SABC and the new age is.
Really, I don't think really every time we should be able to justify ourselves. Why are we doing business with this one? Why are we not doing business with this one? I think that is very unfair. Our own audience are very happy because people claim that they represent the public. Actually, we who are sitting here, we are representing public via our minister, the shareholder. And everything that we do by book. And our audience, they have never complained about the relationship between us and multi-choice, between the new age, because it is a good relationship. We share the same vision with new age. And I said to them, the day you portray South Africa as bad, the day SABC withdraw from this relationship. Because you know, we Africans, we undermine ourselves. You know, when you go to other countries, where is BBC? Just check how they report about their country. They report very good about their country because they are jealous about their country. We Africans, our mindset, we need to work on our mindset to be African mindset, because we'll be never American, some of us. But what is important also is to deal with the issue that, you know, what is the relationship? The relationship is where two partners should benefit. In this new age, we are benefiting, and we don't want to justify what are we benefiting within New Age and SABC. Look, people here. Why are here these people? They are very happy because they are benefiting. They are getting information as we are speaking to you now. But also, you see, we should not allow politicians to influence a public broadcaster. How should a public broadcaster run its business? You read the act. The act is clear. People should run away of wanting to control SABC because they will never control SABC under our leadership. We are there to make sure that we follow the Broadcasting Act, which the minister is responsible for that through the cabinet. So some people, you know, Peter, they always make this noise, this hullabaloo about the SABC. We always have our own consultation with our own audience. Actually, they are more than happy. What I want to see, I hear the minister was saying there are business people here. The issue is some of our own people can't pay TV license. How do we make sure that when these people manufacture those boxes, they also pay levy for SABC to represent those people who can't afford to pay TV license? They should contribute as business people. Because when you go to municipalities, you find that government is paying for those people who can't afford. In this case, Minister, we are saying business people here, they should not think that they should just chow this money of manufacturers. They should also contribute for SABC to pay TV license for those people. Because in other countries, you know what actually happens? People don't pay TV license. Your decoders, when you buy decoders, you pay TV license.
It's part of it.
The business people. Like when you go and buy your TV, what you normally do, they ask you TV license. If you don't have TV license, you can't buy TV license. We are also saying the same manufacturers, when they distribute those decoders, they should be able to say, where's your pay TV license? But they should make sure that they pay TV license first.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Well, let's go straight to our tables now and start getting conversation from our audience here and also you at home. Table number 14, Sicelo Mchali is there. Let's go to Sicelo. Table 14.
Yeah, but the other part is the administration.
Okay, speak.
Good morning, Peter, and our viewers today. All protocol observed. My question was, what measures has the Department of Communication taken to ensure that DTT implementation in rural areas where no power infrastructure exists? What are we doing to ensure that our people do get the digital dividend where there's no power infrastructure in the rural areas? Thank you.
Okay, that's an important question. So I don't know who can answer that. So we've got the electrification process is there. Mr. Cho is talking about it. But as we roll out DTTV, how do we make sure that where there's no power, people can still have access?
Well, I hope our colleagues of ESCOM had that question. Let us understand that DTT is not a magic bullet. It's for all the problems of South Africa. All it is bringing is more services on television, better quality television. But actually it's a migration from where we were in the old to the new. So if you're using a battery, you will continue to use a battery. If you are using a low-powered,
a solar panel,
whatever it is, you will be able to still continue to do that. So in terms of electricity power, it's not our domain, but we're sure people will still receive that.
Okay. Akash Pandey, table number 12. Akash, table number 12. Yeah, if you could stand up.
That's the principle.
Okay.
My question is two questions. Question one regarding SENTECH's readiness. We have reason to believe that there's still critical equipment that needs to be purchased to complete the network structure. And the second question is around the consolidation of services for the free-to-air broadcasters, similarly to what the UK has done with the Freeview, where they manage the EPG as well as the channel allocation. Has that been sorted out yet, or it's critical for the migration to move forward?
Okay, so that sounded pretty technical. If you could answer the question, but make it user-friendly.
Well, I don't know whether I can. I think that's about. Yes. But here's the thing. Where SENTECH has done is in terms of the readiness for the signal distribution. Now, there is a discussion within the business, and I think the CEO and CEO of SENTECH are in the audience, and they can elaborate, where there is now an examination of other value-added services that can be added over and above the signal distribution. And there is very well maybe other considerations to look at consolidation. And also the organization is at pains to also ease the pain for the community broadcasters as well, who are a very important stakeholder in this whole thing. So as far as the readiness for DTT, that part we're comfortable, it's covered. As far as other value-added services to enable and to enhance that service, that is going to be an ongoing journey, which is partly defined by the need, because we also, like I pointed out earlier, our primary customers are the broadcasters, and also the market, and also to make sure that there is sufficient funding and the financial sustainability for that. And the same argument, to address the earlier question of access to power. You'll recall that one of the functions of SENTECH is signal distribution for radio as well. So DTT in itself, as Solly pointed out, requires power, but so do all the other services, and SENTECH has been delivering those services. And part of that, and it's actually one of the major input costs in terms of SENTECH's operational cost, is the cost of energy. So that is something that we're conscious of. That is something that we're conscious of in terms of the dual illumination as well.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, the second part of that question was about consolidating these free-to-air services. So, for example, that if you've got an electronic TV guide that you can see what's coming up, what's on, etc., who's going to consolidate all of that? I think DSTV is doing it at the moment, but what will happen in this new platform? We'll chat after this.